For the chicken and broccoli bake, it's really easy and so tasty. So I'm going to start off by frying up some leeks in maybe just like half a leek in some butter and olive oil, and when they've softened after maybe 2 or 3 minutes, I'm going to crush in 2 garlic cloves and I'll show you how that looks. Okay, so the alcohol is completely burnt off and I've just put a little bit of butter in there, mixed it all up. And this is going to thicken the sauce. I'm going to put about a tablespoon of flour in. And I'm going to mix that all up. So this is what it should look like. And just leave that on a low heat for maybe a minute. Basically this is what's going to thicken it all up and give you a lovely creamy sauce. So maybe just give that a minute to cook away and then we'll add the stock. Okay, I'm going to add in a pint of chicken stock slowly. A little at a time. I use the Knorr stock cubes, and I'm going to use my little mixer to mix that all up, and you'll see it's really thick, so just keep adding in your stock and I'll come back. So you want to bubble that up, leave it to bubble away there for maybe 2 or 3 minutes, and I will add the milk next, and that's going to give it a gorgeous colour. Okay, so I've added about 100 ml of milk and I'm going to let that simmer away and reduce down and thicken up, and at the very end I'm going to add in all the extra little bits. Okay, so that's simmering away and reduce it. I'm going to add a tiny little bit of cream and that will make it lovely and rich, and I'm going to add in some pepper, some fresh herbs that I have frozen. There's parsley, thyme and sage in there. I'm going to give a little squeeze of a lemon, and secret ingredient is a bay leaf. I've used these in all my cooking. They just give the most gorgeous flavour. I'm also going to put some salt in there, a little crack of salt, and I'll come back. Okay, so you want to leave it there to simmer away until you have it the nice kind of soupy consistency, and all them lovely flavours will develop. And next I'm going to strain it. So I'm basically going to strain it into a saucepan. So I've strained out all of these ingredients and I'm left with a lovely sauce. And that is it. You're ready to go. Don't forget to taste it along the way, guys. Always taste it, see if you need more salt or pepper, and that's the sauce done. Okay, the fun bit is the assembly. So I have steamed some broccoli. I steam it instead of boiling it because it just stays together better, but just steam it for maybe 3 minutes because it's going to cook again in the oven and you don't want your broccoli to be all soft and soggy. So I've done that. So when you stick your fork in, you know, it doesn't go straight through. You can feel it going in. And I've put the broccoli into a tray. My chicken cooked out of the oven, and I just basically pull the breasts off with my hands, pull them apart into nice little big enough size pieces. I'm going to put the chicken in with the broccoli and I'll come back. Okay, you got your chicken mixed in nice with your broccoli, and next up is the breadcrumb and cheese. So this is the important bit. Breadcrumbs, blitz them up. I used about half a block of cheddar cheese, so it's kind of equal amounts of each, but then you want to get some melted butter. Okay, so that's giving you an idea how much. Heart attack central. And I just use my hands. Mix that all up. This way it gives a lovely crunchy topping to it. So do that and set that aside, and we'll pop the cream in next and I'll come back. Okay, so next is your lovely sauce that you've made. Nice soupy consistency. If it's a thing it's too runny, use some corn flour and put a tablespoon of corn flour into a teacup of cold, really important that it's cold water, and add that to your sauce when it's boiling, and that will thicken it up. And what we do next is we just pour that over your chicken and broccoli. Make sure you get into all the little crevices so it's completely covered in it, and I'll come back when that's done. Okay, so that's completely covered. Next is your breadcrumbs, and just use your hands and sprinkle them all over the top. So good. Cover it all up. You don't have to use them all if you don't want to. And finally, once that's done, more Heart Attack City, I just put a few little bits of butter randomly around on top, and that will make it lovely and crunchy and crispy. I hope you try it. It's an absolutely gorgeous dinner. There's always loads left over for the next day. It's even nicer the next day. Hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Feel free to share. That keeps me here on Instagram. Oven, half an hour, maybe 170, you'll know yourself. And let it stand for maybe, if you can, 40 minutes after. It just makes it easier to cut into. Okay guys, thanks again. We'll talk to you soon.